Hi, I'm Kathy Schmidt. I'm the broker owner of Schmidt Realty Group, and I'm here today with my friend and colleague Sabrina Bright. Sabrina is our senior training manager, as well as a busy realtor in her own right. And between Sabrina and I and the rest of our leadership group, we're often asked questions about what it's like to get into real estate and what kind of person is well suited to real estate, where business comes from. And today, the question we're addressing is, what's a day in the life of a realtor really like? I'll give you a hint. It's not what you see on HGTV. It's a little bit different. Sabrina, what do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about how they're going to spend their time if they become a realtor?
Well, I think you hit on one of the main points. It's not HGTV. We're not trotting around in, 5-inch heels, looking at multi-million-dollar properties, and we show them 3 and it all happens. Sadly, doesn't happen that way in real life. But actually, an actual day in the life of a working realtor actually looks quite different than what people think. There's quite a bit of time on computer and researching and that sort of thing, and we kind of have a saying around here at our brokerage that you work on your business in the morning, and then you're working in your business with clients and such in the afternoon and evening. And unfortunately or fortunately, whatever works for your life, oftentimes a lot of your in-person work with your clients will be in the evening and weekends, because every time I've sat down with a buyer and you say, hey, listen, I'd love to work with you if you'd love to work with me, when are you available? And they go, oh, we're available every night after supper, and we're available Saturday and Sunday. So guess when you're going to be out viewing, right? Unless you have a shift worker or something. But there is a surprising amount of computer time. Not saying that you have to be high tech at all. Certainly lots of people have no computer skills to speak of. Really, you just have to be proficient at getting around the web and that sort of thing. Good on email too helps, of course. But you're going to be looking and seeing and searching for properties to show your clients, or if you're on the listing side of things, you're going to be looking at what homes have sold in the area that they're at. So typically you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to have your coffee or whatever and walk the dog, and then you're going to settle down to your computer, take a look at what new listings came on overnight, take a look at the market stats that have changed in the last day or two, and start really hunting around. The other thing that's really good, because we're thinking particularly of newer realtors, often they think, how do I fill my time? What do I do? Right? There's lots that you can do viewing properties, right? Pick an area, go out and look at different price points, look and see what a $300,000 townhouse in that area looks like, 350, 400, see what the difference is. Go and take a look at some apartments, go and take a look at some starter homes as opposed to executive homes. Get familiar with the areas so that when someone says to you, hey, do you do any work out in blah blah neighborhood, you have a little bit of advanced knowledge.
You can't see too many houses as a realtor. And before you have clients, then just go out yourself. And we're really good at helping our new agents strategize as to how to spend their time previewing best. So they're really getting some good in-depth knowledge. Like Sabrina's saying, you can look at what the difference in price point buys you, or you could say for the same price, what do you get in different areas? Getting that kind of market knowledge is really important. So we really encourage new agents especially to get out and see houses. There's almost nothing better that you can be doing. In addition to what Serena was saying too about being in front of the computer, definitely there's a lot of that. And that means it's really good if you're someone who kind of likes to dig and solve puzzles. You like to dig in and go, where is the market going in this neighborhood for this client? What else could I suggest? What other areas of the city might this client like that they aren't familiar with? And if you've been out previewing properties, and if you're comfortable using the MLS system and the realtor behind the scenes system called Paragon, then you can really do some good looking and really add value to your clients by giving them ideas that they didn't have, because you've done your research and you've gone out and you've looked at houses, right?
Kathy, I think that's you've touched on something super important there, because one of the differences, I work with a lot of new realtors in my role as an educator, right? And so I see people make it and I see people not make it, right, unfortunately. But I think that you've touched on something really good there. I have seen in my career people who are order takers, and I've seen people who are researcher hunters, right? So, you can be the type of realtor where, you basically say to your client, well, you tell me what homes you'd like to see and I'll get them booked, right? Which you can have a career doing that. But I would respectfully suggest that you're going to have a more successful career. You're going to get a lot more repeat business, referral business. If you're a hunter, so if you're the type of person that, and we do talk to these people who say, oh, I spend a lot of time on realtor.ca. I do a lot of research. I love to look. Those people quite often can do very well in real estate, because instead of just being that order taker, they're going, okay, so you like this particular neighborhood, but maybe you can't afford it. Maybe there's something on the other side of the city that has some of the same characteristics. Maybe you're a runner and you like running paths, or you like mature trees or something like that. Maybe I could take you into this area. So often we say to a buyer, a client, say, well, maybe humor me. I know you didn't want, this type of neighborhood. Let's hop over the river and see what we can find over there. And maybe I can find you something. And those people that are resourceful and like to dig and like to hunt and like to look through those listings at, midnight, often do very well in this business, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's really, really key. So getting out and seeing properties, spending some time every week in the statistics. I know it might not sound very interesting, but when you're actually working with clients and they need to know the pace of the market in their neighborhood, it becomes a lot more interesting when there's a person in front of you and a reason why you're digging into those statistics. So getting comfortable to understand how to pull those numbers out, to give meaning to your clients, buyers and sellers, as to why things are maybe happening the way they're happening, and maybe a bit of a hint as to where things might be going. So you suddenly become their resource. You do that, and suddenly their friends are calling you just for information. They're not necessarily moving now, but they might be in 2 or 3 years. So that's how it all ties together and builds your business as you're doing these things.
Absolutely. And Kathy, you talk about market knowledge for sure. There's also product knowledge. So, also when you're a new agent, one of the smartest things you can do is go out and, go to a Home Depot or whomever, or Rona or whatever, and take a look and, quiz the kitchen people. What's the advantages of quartz over granite, and what is sill granite, and, all these different things, because people will ask you. And, it's important that when you're showing a home, when someone goes, oh, what's this countertop, that a little bit about it, and you can go, well, this one actually is heat tolerant, whereas this one isn't. This one you have to seal every year. Those kind of things. What's the difference between a cedar shake and an architectural shingle? You need to know these things. So product knowledge is something you can bone up on when you're new. So that can be part of a day in the life of a realtor as well, right? And then often, you're out actually showing or meeting with clients at the kitchen table about perhaps selling their home, that kind of thing, in the afternoons and evenings.
And spending time, just whether it's, text or email or phone, catching up with your clients and just touching base and making sure they've got everything they need. That communication piece can't be overstated. A lot of your day is spent communicating, talking, emailing, texting, and then making sure you've got a good record of all of that, because a lot of it's going to be very, very, very important. And the other thing too, to remember too, is that this, business is there is flexibility. I don't think a lot of people want to get into it because it's flexible. It is flexible. And if you're doing well, it could be flexible and very busy as well, but you can decide. We have agents in our office who really don't like to start work till about 10 in the morning, but they'll go sometimes till midnight if they need to in busy season. We have other agents who are up at 6 and they like to shut it down after supper other than appointments. So you do get to design your own work life within a certain balance, and you get to decide, how flexible you're going to be. And hopefully when your clients need you, you can find a way to be there for them. But there's a lot of things in terms of how you spend your day that you do get to kind of design a little bit yourself. And that's one of the really fun things and really just satisfying things, and it helps enhance life balance, I think, as well, life-work balance.
Totally. Yeah, I think if you talk to seasoned realtors and you ask them what one of their favorite parts of their job is, it is the flexibility. I think for most of us who've done it for more than a couple of years, the idea of having to go into a boss and go, may I please have an hour off on Friday afternoon to go get my teeth cleaned, is like, or can I take the first week of July off for a vacation? You decide that, and that's very nice. So that is part of being an agent as well.
Or my kids got, Christmas play is this afternoon. Can I use one of my half flex days or whatever? It's just like, plan around it. Ask a colleague to maybe meet with a client, show them a house if need be even, and get out there and be with your family. So, there's a lot of advantages to it for sure. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of a taste as to what a day in the life is like. I will tell you one thing, a day in the life is never the same twice. It's been more than a couple decades I've been doing this, and I have never been bored once. So if you're someone who likes variety and change, change, this could well be for you. So if you'd like to chat a little bit more about this, have some more questions, you can follow up and check in with either myself or Sabrina. Our email addresses are there. Happy to chat with you anytime. We always love talking real estate, and especially with people who are thinking it might be for them. It's always a fun conversation to have. So we'll leave it there for now. Check back on our YouTube channel. We're always adding new content, and we would certainly, welcome to hear from you anytime. So we'll call it a day for now. Sabrina, I will catch up with you a little bit later. Bye.